Yo, what is up everyone? I'm here on a mission to show everyone how they can utilize clipping, which is, in my opinion, the best way of marketing at the moment. Really underrated. And because clipping is such a new thing, a lot of people are a bit lost on like where to get started, what is like good fit for them, because there are like many ways to go about it. There are many ways to do it. So I'm gonna make it a bit more clear on the options and a bit on the like pricing points and what would make sense for you possibly, to make it more clear on how you specifically can utilize clipping. Because I really do believe that if you're like trying to build anything, if you're just like a YouTube creator, or if you're actually trying to build some sort of business, anyone who needs any kind of attention should utilize clipping in one way or another. So the first one is the most obvious one, which is that you just clip yourself. So if you're someone like me, you're making videos to YouTube on your own, and maybe you even edit your videos on your own, then you might have even considered or done this, that you clip, like, by the way, if you don't know what like clips are, they're just like short pieces of content, you know. So like, for example, this video, I will chop this into smaller pieces of content and I will post it on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. So the obvious one is that you would just do it yourself using pretty much any editing software, CapCut, iMovie. You can pretty much like use any free editing software there is, or pretty much anything. Pretty self-explanatory. But the obvious issue with this is that it takes a lot of time, like especially if you make your long form content, especially if you edit it yourself. On top of that, like creating clips yourself, that's like that's a lot of time would go into that. But you know, it might be fit for someone, but I feel like it's pretty rare, unless you're just like doing only content like full time, then maybe. But otherwise, it's pretty rare that someone is actually able to pull this off, or that it makes sense, just because of the time problem. And the second option is that you will just pay for someone to clip for you instead. So you will basically hire probably a freelancer just to like make some clips of your content once in a while. And typically these clips are just something that you will post on your own like personal page, like we talked before. The only difference is that someone will just like do the clipping editing for you. Just the same way as you would hire someone to edit your like YouTube videos or any type of content. Pretty self-explanatory. Obviously it depends on like how much like clips you want them to produce, and like what like quality and level the clips are, like how much effort goes into them. It really like depends on the pricing. But if you want something like really simple, just like this video, chop it into pieces of me talking, some text there, you know, you can like hire someone for I guess a pretty cheap price. But the only issue maybe with this would be that, well, you have to like pay them. But the main issue is that they can only do so much of clips, and you can only post like so much on your own page. Even if you want to like post on your page as much as possible, it will be still like limited to certain amount of posts, which limits how much reach you can get. You know, but these are, you know, like nice, comfortable ways to like get into clipping, not to go too crazy about it. Tipping your toes a bit, right? So the next option is, if you don't want to hire someone, you want to just do things yourself, you want to automate things, you know, or AI, that kind of stuff. There are these automated clipping platforms where you can basically just like drag some long form content, and you can you know, choose whichever like type of style of caption you want, or like choose like specific things on it, and it will automatically produce you clips and find the best parts, the best hooks, and that kind of stuff. And it will basically just automatically generate you clips. And these are all platforms that you have to like pay monthly, because this is quite beneficial. So obviously you couldn't like get this kind of stuff for free. And this might make sense if you're like one of those independent people who just want to do everything by yourself and have control over things, but like not invest too much time on it. You know, you're really into AI and automation and that kind of stuff. This might be something you might want to consider. But obviously this, in comparison to just like hiring someone, is that the quality might be a bit like random. Like there might be some mistakes here and there, you know, like the captures might be not correct, and you know, because there is no like professional, like making sure that everything is correct, the quality control might be a bit, you have to like do a bit of quality control yourself, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is a nice option if you're like comfortable like doing something yourself, something to try out. But again, like this still has the same issue as the hiring someone, that you only get to like post this on like your own page, and you can only post so much until it like kind of caps, and also like you cannot just like spam your page full of stuff, because then it affects, sometimes on different platforms it affects like the algorithm in a negative way, and people following you probably don't want to see like 100,000 posts of you per day. That might not be so ideal. And I'm gonna go through a couple of these platforms, and I'm gonna go through their price points so you can like easily compare and see which one makes a bit more sense to you. We have Opus Clip. I'm not sure if I'm butchering that name, or I might be actually butchering all of these names, just be aware. But Opus Clips is $14.5 per month, and they do have some like free trial period. I can't remember like how long it is, but yeah, that's pretty much how much the price is. That's the cheapest price point to start with. And then next we have Wizard, which is also $14.5 per month, and it also has a free trial period. So these are like super similar, like almost identical with the price points, at least like the beginning price points. You can always like upgrade to like better ones if you like are comfortable with that. Last one is Creo, which is $13 per month, and this one doesn't have free trial, at least the last time I checked it didn't. But yeah, I will not like go into too much details. That's like a whole another video on like the differences with these platforms, but it's pretty easy. You can just like go check their websites, and they will like kind of, you can see the differences with the sites, or you can even like test them, because most of them have free trials. And next way to run clipping, and this is what we're in here for. This is what my channel is for. This is the most exciting part, because this is the best leverage and easily the best way you can use clipping. But this is also the most extreme, so like if you're just like starting out, you want to like test the waters, or you don't want to invest so much, you can try to like those things we talked about before. But this is when you want to like really get the most out of clipping, the most outcome, the most bang for your buck. And this is something that if you really want to aggressively market something, get awareness aggressively on a huge scale, this is definitely something you want to do. So let me break it down. What is the whole point of Clipping Army? Clipping Army is that you have multiple clippers. Instead of like having one person to clip for you, edit videos for you, you have many clippers to make videos for you. Well, why? Because you get a lot of content done at the same time, and also these clippers are not gonna post it on separate pages promoting one thing. So when you think about it, the beauty of this is that you can scale this to infinity. You can have as many clippers as you want. You can have as many pages as you want, meaning that you can basically like take over the internet if you want to with this. You can just like take over the algorithms completely if you want with this. That's the whole point. That's why it's so effective and super aggressive. And back in the days, long time ago, this was a bit more difficult to do. Like you could basically run like a Discord community, for example, for these clippers, and then you had to manually track, because the best part is that the clippers get paid per views. It's not just some like random amount you pay for them and hope for the best. These clippers get paid based on like how many views they generate. That's the best part, because like there's no risk. So you have these clippers on your Discord server, and you would have to manually track how many views they generate, and then you would have to like manually pay for each one of them, So it can work, right? But that's obviously because there is the manual aspect to it. It's kind of difficult to have more clippers and scale it to infinity. But that's possible to do, and people used to do it that way. But that was before. The cool thing now, and why clipping is popping right now and upcoming, and why there's opportunities, that it's way easier now. There are like these platforms where you can do all of that and everything is automated. You don't have to like manually do anything. The best and biggest platform to do this with right now is WOP Content Rewards. And basically you just put money there, you create a campaign, you put money in there. The clippers come inside, you know, like a similar community as in the Discord server. And they read the guidelines, what they should make, what type of clips they should make. And then they make the clips, they post them. And then after that, they submit the clips. And then if the clips are what they should be, then they start getting paid automatically based on how many views they generate. So this way, when the whole thing is automated, you can have as many clippers in there as possible, and you don't need to like worry about like manually tracking the views or manually paying each one of them. The whole thing just goes automatically. So this makes clipping as easy, in my opinion, easier than running something like Meta ads, Facebook ads, you know, Google ads. So I guess the thing that has been gatekeeping clipping from becoming something like a standard for every business, anyone who wants any attention, just has been that it has been quite difficult to do manually, I guess. That's why things are changing now, and that's why I'm teaching this, and I am you know, spreading awareness, teaching people how to do this, because this is something that like big companies already do this. A lot of them just do it in kind of like a secret, in hidden, because they don't want, you know, people to know that they are paying people to make clips of them. But like you know, a lot of big companies, game companies, Modern Warfare is doing this. Tate blew up because of these politicians are doing this. Mr. Beast, like, you know, like everyone is doing this. Everyone like who is like doing big things is doing this, and this is just something that I kind of wanna like make it more accessible and make people understand like how this whole clipping thing works. So anyone can do this. You know, you don't need to be like some crazy business with crazy marketing budgets. So there are two platforms you can do this on. The first one is the one that I mentioned earlier. It is Content Rewards on WOP. And this is the one you should probably use if you have a minimum 1K to spend on a clipping campaign. So yeah, that's the minimum budget you like can work with on Content Rewards. If you have a bit less than that, then the second option is a platform called Clip Affiliates. And it's pretty similar to Content Rewards, but the good thing with that is that the minimum budget is 100 per one clipping campaign, which is quite cool because it's way less than 1K. Usually sometimes when people get started and they don't have like so much marketing budget, 1K feels like something a bit too much to like just like test and get a feel of things, you know. And the last option, which is the easiest option but is also the most expensive option, is just to get a clipping agency to do this for you. So you don't need to deal with anything. The clipping agency will basically just take over, and they will run their whole clipping army system for you. So yeah, that's pretty much the list on the cheapest version to the most expensive version. So let's just like go through all of these one at a time. How you can utilize clipping: you can clip for yourself, you can hire someone to clip for you, you can use these automated clipping platforms, or you can run clipping army on Content Rewards or Clip Affiliates, or you can run clipping army through an agency. So yeah, that's just to make everything as clear as possible. And I'm gonna end this video with like a few positive things about clipping. I could like go on and on why this is such a like cool thing, but I will just stick to the few basic ones. The first one is that in comparison to other things like paid ads, this is organic content, you know. Like, when was the last time you found a cool song from an ad? Or like, when was the last time you found like a cool creator from an ad? You know, in comparison to like, I find songs from like just scrolling social media all the time. I find like you know, creators. I have these like these streamers on my feed all the time, and I don't even like care about these streamers. I couldn't care less about them, but they're just on my feed all the time. Well, guess like what they spend all of their budget in. guess what, their whole like business runs on? Well, it runs with clipping, you know. That's why you see them everywhere. So wouldn't it make sense that you do that too? Well, yeah. Anyways, my point is that it's organic content. People like scrolling social media. They like watching clips. They like watching content. It's they're a lot more like open, and it's more like a natural relationship. You know, if you like, there's a difference if you find like a clip of someone. Like let's say you find a clip of me on social media. You're like, okay, well this guy's kind of interesting. Who is this guy? And then you like go to the page, you see, okay, well, he has this YouTube channel, and then you like go to the YouTube channel. That is totally different if you run an ad into the YouTube channel, because when people see the ad, they're like, okay, well, this guy is like talking about something interesting. He's talking about clipping, but it's an ad. So like, first of all, like people will just like probably scroll past it, because a lot of people are just like they just hate ads. There's like everyone has ad fatigue. Everyone hates watching ads. So but even if they like happen to like look at the ad, they kind of have like this like this negative skeptical like feeling that someone is gonna sell me something, you know. It's kind of like those phone stand sellers who like are on the like some shopping mall, and they're like, hey, hello you, and they ask like some nice innocent question, but like you don't wanna talk to them, because you know that's like up to something that about to like sell you some bullshit, you know. So that is the main problem in compared to ads. And the second thing is that it's super cheap in compared to like any other type of advertisement, like any easily. An expensive price that you will pay for clipping would be $2, $1 on average per 1,000 views. Well, guess how much meta ads it costs to get 1,000 views? It costs at least $8. At least, think about that. And $1 is like an average, so it's cheaper. It's organic content that people actually enjoy watching. I guess these two are like the strongest and best aspects of clipping, and I'm gonna like stick to that. There's a bunch of more stuff, but I don't wanna make this video too confusing. The whole video of this is to make everything more clear on like what clipping is, what is the benefit, and how to get started. Where do you start with? Okay. And if you have some more questions, let me know. You can just contact me down below. Check out the description, or you can just leave it on the comments, whatever. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.